All right, so welcome to episode 5 of Preternatural interviews. I have with me John. He's an old friend from Orange County when I used to live out there, and he's got some pretty unique stories or that he's going to go ahead and explain in just a little bit. But just to let everyone know, these are all new for me as well. I haven't heard any of these. I got like a little basic rundown, but other than that, I'm at the edge of my seat. Also waiting to see what's going to unfold in front of us. John, what what is the nature of these stories? Are they ghost stories, UFO, otherwise, Bigfoot?
Well, yeah, mostly ghosts, spirits, if you will.
Yeah.
Some just feelings, senses, smells, olfactory instead of an actual visual auditory one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
And your let's go
ahead.
ahead and jump into your first story you want to get into. Go ahead and set up just the backstory, the backdrop, the context, and then take us right into the event.
So, I mean, pretty much I was kind of raised around this stuff. My mom, she's an illegal alien from Scotland. And her mom grew up like the town Gypsy, come from a long line of gypsies. They used to read tea leaves or whatever, stuff like that. Kind of at a point where if we were going to move somewhere and mom walked in the house and said, no, we're not moving in, we didn't ask questions,
Yeah.
It took a while until I got older to start realizing kind of stuff I've seen. So probably the first one was we were in Carson, and I don't know if your viewers want to Google map stuff to make it real. 2602 East Madison Street
Oh,
in
shoot.
Carson,
Okay.
California. So we're not too far from Long Beach, and we had this little house in the corner. And I remember we were about to move, and a lot of times we get like fog from Queen Mary and from down there. You can see fireworks from our house, kind of like you can see Disneyland from Anaheim, right?
Yeah.
Fog bank rolled in, and then it started to clear up, and I peeked out my bedroom window. I had a bay window right in the front of the house, and I see pretty much. Best way to describe it is if anybody's been to Disneyland, like the haunted mansion, the little ghosts in the ballroom gowns and that kind of deal, like floating, no feet, typical standard ghost story, right?
Yeah. Wow.
I see it from the window floating from right to left down the street. And obviously, as a little kid, it slows down in front of the house, freak out, close the blinds, pop back inside, right?
Yeah.
But as a little kid again, crack the windows open. Now our front yard, Pops he had built like brick pillars with lights on them and like chicken wire, grow a mesh fence through it with bushes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's across the street, nearing the corner, stop in front of the window. I close the blinds, pop the blinds back open. She's inside the fence, right in front of the window. Just freaked the crap. I probably like 7, 6 at the time.
Was it like a really detailed apparition? Like, could you tell what she was wearing, or is it more of a shadow?
Yeah, for real. It literally was like, clothing you'd see 20s era or earlier, right? Same, updo, really whatever curly stuff. It wasn't like scary movie, scabbed up, cut up weird stuff. It was just, it was a woman who had been strolling, and I caught her. She saw me, came in the yard, scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, that scared me too. And were you like walking distance from the Queen Mary, or it's just pretty close by?
It probably like 9-10 minutes. Well, to get to the big loops around the bay and the harbor, stuff like that, probably 10 minutes to get there.
Okay, but that
Like
that is
when I got out of, yeah,
that,
so
yeah,
pretty close. Like I said,
yeah, the same
it's
era
like
of
Anaheim
clothes.
to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. And yeah, because you're aware that the Queen Mary is super haunted, right? That's pretty common knowledge.
Oh yeah, so I took my wife there for like her, I think it was 30th birthday. We had a couple nights on it. That's probably the most recent one. I hadn't really seen anything since I was maybe 21. But Megan was there, Megan.
Yeah.
So that she can verify it. So we kind of got lost, and at the bow and after the ship, they have like ballrooms, right? Ballrooms, restaurants, something, you know what I mean? So you come out of your hotel room, you hit this platform on after the boat at the stern. There's no elevators; they're all shut down, right? The ones in the front work. So we walk out, we go, there's a certain ballroom, we go out, yeah, obviously we both been drinking, right? So she was like, no, go left, go right, go, whatever. we get lost. And the only way we can identify our room is by the neighbors like leftover food, right? They're come pick up our room service plates in the hallway.
Okay. Yeah.
So we go out to the elevator. Obviously, it doesn't work. We're trying to find the outer deck so we can go smoke a cigarette. We can't work the elevator because obviously it's closed back there. We go up the stairs. This is the wrong way. We come down. We get back to our floor, and you can go up another level and hit the elevator and go back. So we go up the other level. Can't get out. Go down the hallway. It's our same hall, same room number, same food, same plate, and we've already gone up a floor.
Oh my gosh.
So we go down a floor, which we think would be ours, and I'm like, well, that kind of fucked up. Let's go down one more, right? And none of the signs for the engine room were there. We go down one more. We hit the hallway, 2 doors down, same plate of food, same room number. We got totally, we got The Shining. We got trapped in the hotel there for a second.
Holy mackerel.
Which, I don't know, if she ever comes back, you can check with her. She'll verify that one. That one's pretty creepy.
How many years ago was that? Like, not.
Let's see, she is 30.
Don't tell her age. Don't tell her. Okay. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's still.
Yeah. 2 years ago.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's
we didn't.
really
we were trying, like, yeah. We were like creeping in curtains and like going through. We found this weird, like, what's that? Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman weird mass movie. Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, we found like a creepy ballroom, whatever. We went through there and we heard a bunch of noise. We crept in and Megan's like, don't go, because there's like a closed construction employees. I'm like, fuck that, let's see ghosts, right? We paid for it.
Yeah.
I sneak in there, and what I'm thinking, the ting, 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 ting in the background, I find a piano by a fireplace. I'm like, oh man, some ghost playing the piano. Wow. No, it was a shortcut for the crew to get to the kitchen, right? It was just dishes in the background, right?
Oh, okay. Dude, imagination.
I know what I want it to be, but, I can differentiate when something's wrong and something's, I messed up,
Yeah, almost walked into Illuminati blood sacrifice.
Yeah, nothing. Right? Not even an orgy, people in hoods, no queer stuff.
Nothing.
No, just, just dishes, whatever.
And you said, like growing up, your mom, was she still into mystical stuff, like gypsy oriented mysticism, or?
So she didn't partake in any of the stuff that my grandma would do, but she always had like the vibes, always the feelings. Like one of the ones that, pardon me, it was a funny thing because Dad never got it. Yeah. So even as a kid, like a young kid, before I knew, because back in the day, before everybody would steal everything, there'd still be like the pipe tobacco section in CVS was like down the aisle next to the chewing gum, not behind the counter.
Yeah.
So I'm walking the aisle, and it finally put together when I smelled the smell, because for years before that, Mom would go, "Hey, do you smell that?" And I would go, "Yeah, I smell that." And my dad would be like, "What are you talking about?" And she'd be like, "That's your grandpa. He used to all smoke pipe tobacco."
Okay.
And she'd be like, "That's him looking in on us." And I never really realized it till, I'm walking down the tobacco aisle, and I'm like, "Oh, I know that smell." And she goes, "Yeah, that's Grandpa." So then from then on, whenever we smell that smell, and everybody else in the room is like, "You guys are having a stroke? What are you doing?" I was like, "No." Mom would be like, "That's Grandpa." Like, "Oh, okay, all right."
I smell burnt toast.
Yeah.
Stroking out.
Yeah, no. I didn't stroke out, not yet. My blood pressure is whatever.
Yeah.
Comes with being fat. What are you gonna do?
Hey, there's just more of us to love. That's all it is. And living in Carson seemed like that was kind of an active area. Did you have any other experiences besides the one that you described earlier?
So I had one in Carson that was, it's probably sounds completely retarded, but for a little kid, I'm sorry, PC, can I say that in your show?
Yeah, it's fine. We're all good. I'm not monetized.
Okay. Anyway, so it sounds dumb, but so when I'm sleeping in my room, and just a little setup in there, same room where the bay window is at, but if you look to your right out of my bed, there's a little hallway. It's kind of like the linen closet hallway. And then there's the hallway from the living room. Hook the left is my parents' room. Straight across from that is the bathroom. So pretty much like a cross, like a T, right? And my dad swears that I'm imagining things and I'm making it up because, you know, he's running around, you know, he's got those OP shorts, right? With nuts hanging out, the corduroy ones.
Yeah, the iconic nut hanger OP shorts.
Yeah.
Usually corduroy,
Yeah.
right?
Well, if it wasn't those, he's running around the house in his white BVs. You know what I mean? His little Hanes.
That's his prerogative.
Yeah. So I wake up and I literally, foot of my bed where the closet's at, end of the room, I see a pair of like floating underwear, right?
Yeah.
But not like my dad's height. And he's a fairly tall guy. I mean, like towards the ceiling, floating. So I freak out and like I want to make a bolt out the hallway to the right. And I look in and it's seriously like the Disney Halloween special, like hippity hoppity, like an old flappy boot, which pops his office job. An engineer, crazy stuff. He never had work boots. He wasn't like me, you know?
Yeah.
But there's this boot just flopping through my room. Freaked out. So I start screaming, Dad, 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 right? And they're around the corner, but at the time, you know, younger, but both parents, probably where it, you know, came from me too, we're all alcoholics. They didn't want to wake up, right?
Scottish.
So I'm screaming at my dad. He goes, what's wrong? I'm like, Dad, there's ghosts. I was like, come get me. And he's like, just close your eyes. So I close my eyes, open them. Not only is the boot closer to the hallway towards my bed, so I can't bolt, the underwear is still there. And now from the closet, there's like a long sleeve button up, which, you know, I'm like 6, right? I'm not wearing those. He's crawling towards my bed.
Oh, man.
You know, and the only thing I can do is just pull the blankets up and just freak out until I pass out. And I wake up in the morning, I'm like, Dad, why'd you come get me? He's like, well, you're fine, right? And that was it.
Yeah, that's a good dad answer.
To this day, he's still, well, I wear those underwears. I have those shirts. I'm like, Dad, you wear work boots, right? You wear penny loafers, you know?
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? But he can't explain it. Mom laughed about it. That was it. Those are pretty much, those are the 2 from Carson. Let's see. You got the recent one, the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
So about 8, I moved to Virginia.
Okay.
Right, and that was where I found out Mom's thing. Where anytime we looked for a house, if she walked inside and was like, "We're not living here," we didn't ask questions. And Dad explained to me like, "Yo, she feels not a good presence. Don't ask her. We'll just find somewhere else." You know what I mean?
Yeah, good policy.
Yeah. So about that time, it's probably, well, I mean, in Virginia, it's back roads, right? You can start learning to drive at 12. You know, especially if your parents like to tie one on. They need a sober driver, right? But so I'd say maybe 13, 14, something like that. We are, me and my pops are going to the local video store. Yes, Blockbuster is still around. I'm that old.
Nostalgia.
But yeah, but no, this one was actually called Movie Time. It's like a local spot. If your viewers want that one, 122 Hempstead Road, Williamsburg, Virginia. It was at that house. Anyway, so we leave the house. We start to pull out of the neighborhood, and all of a sudden my dad's like, oh, crap, I forgot my wallet. Come back in, pull down the driveway. Kind of a long driveway, right? Not too bad, but we stop in front of the garage side door, and there's a light over the door, obviously, right? You get out of your car, you got to put your keys in, get it out, you know, outside light. Everybody has one. He gets out, he goes in the house. I'm still sitting shotgun. And he goes inside, and all of a sudden the light clicks off. And I'm just sitting in the dark. I'm like, why would God turn me off on the lights? Like, whatever, fine. Then I smell Grandpa's pipe.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then, so a few times that I've spoke to my family back in Scotland on my mom's side, you know, my Uncle Vincent, even my step-grandmother, right? Even her father before he died, all them. So I can understand the accent, you know, I can recognize it, I get it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell. Like, first time I ever talked to my Uncle Vincent, I was like 8. I was playing soccer, and he started talking about Pele, and I heard, oh, you like Pele? And I'm like, what is that? You know, but figured it out. I got the accent. Anyways, so now I'm sitting here in the dark, hot boxed, not even just a whiff, hot boxed in Grandpa's pipe smell, and I start hearing the accents behind me. And it's not just like voices or whatever. They're literally talking about me, because every time Mom would talk to me, oh, we John, oh, we John, oh, we, you know, right?
Yeah.
And I'm literally hearing them talking about, oh, Wee John's getting so big. Wee John's, and now I'm just frozen because not only is there stuff that's not supposed to be there back there, plus I know it's spiritual because I smell Grandpa's pipe, and now they're talking about me. I'm literally like counting the hours for this light to turn back on over the garage. And my dad really just walked inside and grabbed a wallet. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
It's one of those time froze stories. And it freaks me out. Finally, all of a sudden, the smell starts to go away. The voices trail off, kind of like the end of a Pink Floyd song. And then, boom, light clicks back on. Dad comes back out, gets his car. What the fuck's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, why are you so white? I'm like, Dad, just go get the movies. Let's go. Right? I just panicked. Which, it wasn't threatening. It wasn't a bad spirit. It wasn't any of that stuff. You know, like.
It's just like you'd seen a ghost.
Well, I heard. I was too afraid to turn around. I didn't even want to look in the mirrors. Right? I could have like turned the center mirror and looked in the back. Didn't even want to know. Right?
Yeah.
See, was it? Well, I heard evil, but hear no evil, see no evil. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. That's better, right?
Like,
so
yeah. Like when you're afraid at night, you just pull the sheets over your head. Like, I can't see, so they can't see me, you know?
Yeah, so I didn't look in the back seat. I didn't know. And again, it wasn't threatening. It wasn't bad. It was just one of those, like, when you realize there's other presence, you just freeze. You're like, oh, shit, we're really not alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You could feel, you could sense them in the room with you.
I could sense them. I could hear. I could smell, well, not smell them, but smell Grandpa's
pipe.
Yeah, olfactory, auditory. I had every hallucination. I wasn't even on drugs.
You got a free deal, man.
Let's see. That was Virginia. Again, so other than Meghan and the Queen Mary, another verified one that actually finally me and my mom got together on this, besides Grandpa's pipe, right?
Yeah.
I was probably 19, 20 or so, but I had those cool parents that were like, you know, you and your friends can do whatever, just nobody drive. I had that house, right?
Yeah.
So me and my buddy at one time, he had problems, whatever. We decided to get super taped. We literally, two like 19-year-olds went through 230 racks in like, I don't know, half a day, plus the night. It was pretty impressive. And I had, my room setup was pretty much like, so my bed and futon couch makes an L, you know, entertainment center against the wall. Next to the bed, in front of the couch, had like a little coffee table thing that got a swap meet or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, being young kids and being proud, look how much we drank, right? We built the pyramid out of beer cans, you know, pyramid, if you will. And then we left it, right? And the next day, super hungover. Third day, whatever, had to go about it. Yeah, I was 19, so I had to work, right? I worked in the garage. So I had to work, do my thing, came home, and I have a Jack and Jill bedroom. This is Rancho Santa Margarita.
Okay.
So here in Orange County again, right? 20 Polonia in RSM. Anyways, so I'm in the room. We have a Jack and Jill. So obviously it's my room. I can see into the bathroom. The other bedroom in the hallway is connected to my room to the bathroom. Hence Jack and Jill, right? In that room was like the office, if you will. And you know how the computer has certain lights that stay solid and certain ones that flicker? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm looking in the room. The neighbors, like in between our house, between our garages, right? The motion lights clicked on. So I can see like the light of the window, and I see a silhouette walk by. And it looks like my dad. Same height, same beer gut, same mustache. Quite unlike yours, right? A little bigger. Right?
Yeah.
My dad is a little bigger.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you're describing me, beer gut, mustache. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, but I know you. My dad's got like 3 feet on you as far as
Oh, yeah. That's not hard to do, man. I'm like tattoo.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyways, but including the shadow, you see like a mullet, like almost like long hair. Not maybe a mullet, maybe long hair. I don't even know how to put it, but you can see the shadow looks like Dad, but with long hair. And I see it in the window with the motion lights clicked on. And then it comes over towards the computer and it stops. So not just the flashing lights, but the solid lights are blocked by the shadow figure.
Okay.
So then I start yelling at my dad. I'm like, Dad, what do you want, man? You need something? No answer. No nothing. Doesn't say anything. So finally I'm like, Dad, what the fuck, man? What are you doing? No nothing. Finally he comes in, and I had one of those little, well, I mean, this was probably like 2000, but I still had like from the 80s, remember the little crappy nightlight with a little plastic shell over the front?
Yeah, yeah. Iconic.
Had one of those in the bathroom still. Comes into the Jack and Jill, and also the moonlight hits that side of the house. So the window by the toilet and shower, plus that light, kind of lights up the bathroom. Now I see the shadow walk into the room, so I see the mullet from side profile, turns and starts coming at me. I'm like, Dad, what are you? And I'm yelling at my dad, like, what the fuck do you want? Comes in, smashes that beer mid down off the coffee table while I'm laying in bed.
Wow.
Beer cans just boom, no fan, no wind, no nothing. Like the cans just shut, and they didn't fall over. Like we built it sketchy. It had been standing for 2 days, shattered when the shadow got there. And as soon as I went, what the fuck? Shadow disappeared.
Oh, wow.
Right? Again, me by myself, I was like making it up, right? However, jump forward a couple years, I'm in Vegas with my parents. We're all hungover. We're at like the all you can eat, well, whatever, like $2 buffet with all you can drink mimosas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we start bullshitting about the old house in Rancho. And I tell my mom about it because, you know, she's seen spirits and she says, hey, don't move in a house or don't do this just in case, whatever, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mom turns around and goes, I've seen that ghost several times. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah. So they have the master. So it's like big, huge walk-in closet, bathroom, all that other stuff. You know, standard ranch. Well, they're not that big, but for RSM prices, retarded. You can say it's
Manhattan prices.
Yeah, for sure, right? 3-bedroom, 2-story, not that crazy. 900,000. Right?
Yeah, million.
Yeah. Anyways, she's like, I was in the bathroom, so obviously it's a huge open room, super vaulted ceilings. It's a pretty nice master bedroom, right? I'm sitting there brushing my teeth. This is what my mom said. This is her account, and I see your dad's shadow behind me, and I'm like, hey, John. Hey, John. Dad's name's John as well, right? John, like yelling at my dad. Finally, she turns around and goes, are you fucking deaf? And she turned around, there's no one there, turned back in the mirror, saw the same shadow, and then as it turned to leave, side profile, saw that long mullet that I was talking about. Looked exactly like Dad's silhouette.
Wow.
You know? Wow. I mean, we've been around him for a million years, so we could identify his side profile like Alfred Hitchcock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But add a mullet, and we're like, what the fuck? So Mom saw it too. So she saw it. I know I saw it, right? She's the I see everything kind of person. You know what I mean?
Another mimic type situation.
So no, when we were sitting there in Vegas, and she was like, no, I've seen it too. I was like, all right, then I'm not crazy, right? And it literally, like I said, that's the first time I've ever had an interaction with, like, I mean, I've seen him, I've heard him, I've smelled him. So you kind of get an idea of stuff all the time, but that's the first time I've ever actually had one, like, come in and do something, i.e. knock those beer cans over, right? Most of the time it's, you hear them, you smell them, you see it, oh, close your eyes, it goes away, you know, whatever. No, this one, like, came in and smashed stuff. And she was like, I never saw him hit anything, but after I saw him, because that toothbrush came on was the first time she saw him. She said she's seen him through the house a bunch of times. She's like, but you know, after a while, I started getting worse and worse feelings, right? And weird thing, coincidence, I don't know, right? But shortly after that, let's see, 21, we had a conversation. By 22, I had a kid. I was in the Marine Corps. I was gone. I was cross thing. Mom, I talked to her. She'd been seeing that spirit more and more. Didn't knock anything over like it did for me. But not long after that, she got cancer.
Oh, wow. So maybe not correlated, but still just a negative vibe.
Yeah, probably not at all. But, you know, this is your type of show. Let's make that connection. Let's get weird, right?
Let's get, well, you know, stranger things have happened. If you got a bad vibe going on around you or something attacking you, it could manifest in a whole bunch of different ways. You know, car wrecks, possibly sickness. But It is not. It's
You know,
not
like I said,
beyond. Yeah.
yeah, like I said, that's the only physical representation I ever saw was where it smashed the cans. But I have heard of things where people that are in houses that are being tormented a bunch, eventually they get sick, they get worn out, they get something that, you know.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
It drains you of energy. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, you know.
So instead of Hat Man, you saw Mullet Man. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. But it's not Mullet Man, it's Mullet Dad, right?
Mullet Dad. Oh man, that's incredible
Yeah,
though that it took.
look just like him.
Yeah.
Was
Wow.
that?
That I said that's incredible that it mimicked his form so well. It just he didn't have a mullet, right? Or
Yeah.
he did.
You know, he had, you know, short cropped hair, maybe like imagine mine with little wings over the ears, not, you know, side fading. Like how you see me. I mean,
80s style.
and then his mustache, big giant Sam Elliott motherfucker, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It was, you know, and same beer guts, man boobs, like it was side profile. Like I said, he would have lined up in an Alfred Hitchcock step in that thing.
Yeah.
It was my dad. It just had a mullet.
Wow, it's just picking up on. And was your dad? Was he in that house at all? Or was he somewhere else, or had he already passed?
Yeah, he was. Like I said, we were at the you know, all you can drink breakfast. Me and Mom were having this conversation, and he's like, why did it look like me? Like he's all offended. He's like, I'm like, dude, that's just how we saw it, right? I don't know what to tell you. And the fact that my description matched what my mom saw exactly, I was like, all right, I'm not crazy. Ooh, there. I still got it.
That is,
and then
that is pretty crazy when you could triangulate truth with someone else who's sensitive to the same activity.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, I don't know who's listening to your show. I don't know who's believers, who's, you know, haters, who's whatever. So I understand both sides, right? For all you know, I could just be making everything up. When I have other people that are like, hey, I've seen this, I'm like, all right, so maybe I'm not so crazy, right?
Yeah, that's how I felt when my first ghost experience. It was with a girlfriend at the time, and I swear if she wasn't there, I would have been like, am I going schizophrenic? I heard something call my name and knock on the door, you know? So it's always good when there's someone else there, because half of it is just doubting your own experience sometimes, because it's so crazy.
You know? Yeah, like I said, it's like the early Carson ones, I was starting to get an idea of what, you know, Mom's thing was about. And then kind of nothing-ish till that 14, 15 summer in Virginia. And then, you know, even at that time, you're a teenager, right? And who knows what's ghosts and what's smoking pot, you know?
Yeah.
But and then it just kind of trailed off. You know, they say like dogs, children, youth, innocence, they're all more susceptible to everything, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't see anything until, like I said, you know, 1920 was where it actually manifested, where it smashed those cans over, which freaked me out. But then when I talked to Mom, she verified that she saw it too, and I'm not crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty negative. It's all like an opaque, dark shadow, and it's able to affect physical objects. That's a pretty powerful type of entity.
And then again, I mean, I had conversations with my mom about this right until she died. You know, I was like, well, I lost it. I don't smell Grandpa. I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. I don't do any of this stuff anymore. Until, like I said, probably 2 years ago, Megan's birthday, we were on Queen Mary. And again, that was Megan, right? She saw it, she backed it up, and again, non-believers, believers, whatever the listeners are, they're like, oh, but you guys were on Queen Mary's birthday, y'all were drinking, For the record, if we are drinking, my wife does not agree with me on anything at all. But she saw that shit in the hallway and we got lost together. So if that counts for anything, right?
I think it does. I think when you got multiple witnesses, whether it's 2 or 500, if you could get 2 people to tell the same story separately, I think there's something there. And even if there's not, even if it's just a singular story, what does anyone have to gain by telling these stories? It doesn't, doesn't put us forward or anything. They're good around campfires. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have.
Well, you want to hear campfire ones? I just make stuff up and they're crazy.
I'm sure you could, man. We'll have another channel for that. That would be great.
Yeah. You should have seen the ones my dad used to tell me when he was barbecuing. I wouldn't go to sleep for a day and a half.
My dad used to tell me stupid stories like, don't eat your bologna sandwich too fast, because he had a friend named Charles who laughed and the whole bologna sandwich came out his nose.
My grandpa told me I shouldn't have swallowed all the watermelon seeds, and I tried to go throw up because I thought I was going to grow a watermelon in my stomach.
That's classic. Classic move. Oh, man.
I mean, I have it now, but it's mainly all beer. What are you going
to do? He's swallowed some hops or something, some barley and hops.
Yeah, it's a beer melon.
You got a keg in your stomach, kegerator. All right, man.
I'm growing a Hefeweizen.
Well, it's beautiful, and you're glowing, and congratulations. And we'll throw a shower for you soon.
Cool.
Hey, man, I really appreciate your time, man. And those were badass stories, and there's a lot of them. You had a lot of experiences, which is great. And
I still, probably think of some. Maybe I'll ask my dad if you need more. I don't know, figure it out. Those are the ones that really I felt and stuck. That are kind of like, hey, there's something besides us here. But I figure out a lot of, like I said, I grew up with it with mom there, but then you miss most of your childhood, right? I'm drunk now. I'm old. I was a kid. It happened. What are you gonna do?